Today we have to listen Sambhajiññā clear comprehension. In the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the great discourse of the four foundations of mindfulness, Buddha taught Sambhajiññā clear comprehension. Commentators wrote the commentaries and they incorporate the instruction handed down from generation to generation in their commentaries. In the commentaries, a more detailed instruction is given. Before we try to understand clear comprehension, first we must understand clear comprehension. Comprehension is correct understanding, and the commentary said that there are four kinds of clear comprehension. Number one, sattaka sambhajiññā, clear comprehension of what is beneficial or what is not. Or what is purposeful or what is not. Number two, sappāya sambhajiññā, clear comprehension of what is suitable or not suitable. Number three, gochara sambhajiññā, clear comprehension of the resort. Number four, asammoha sambhajiññā, clear comprehensions of non-delusion. Today we have to go more detail to gochara sambhajiññā, clear comprehension of resort. In the commentary, the text is concise, more concise than its English translation. Gochara, it is simply taking the gochara when bhikkhu goes down, goes to the gochara is gochara sambhajiññā. The key to find the meaning of the passage is the Pali was gochara. Before we can use this key, we must look at its various meanings. The word gochara originally meant a place where cattle roam, their pasture. Later on, it came to mean any resort or domain. So the place where a bhikkhu goes for alms, his roaming place, a village is called his gochara. And the subject of a bhikkhu's constant contemplation, his mental domain, meditation, is also called gochara. So gochara can mean a bhikkhu's meditation, as well as a village where bhikkhu goes for alms. We also have the phrase gochara sambhajiññā, meaning clear comprehension of resort or domain. Now the sentence is clear. Taking the gochara when bhikkhu goes to the gochara is the gochara means taking meditation with him when bhikkhu goes to the village for alms is clear comprehensions of resort, gochara sambhajiññā. However, this does not mean that clear comprehensions of resort is only a bhikkhu meditating when he goes to the village for alms. Subsequently, statements make clear that it means the practice of meditation itself. So commentary says repeatedly, not forsaking the meditation is clear comprehensions of domain. It does not matter where a bhikkhu practice, whether a bhikkhu is going to the village or sitting in a monastery. If he practicing meditation, he is applying clear comprehensions of resort, gochara sambhajiññā. Then, why does the commentary explain this? By way of a bhikkhu going to the village and taking meditation with him? Why? In a village, there are many distractions that can make it very difficult for a bhikkhu on alms round to maintain unbroken meditation. Is difficult to maintain. In order to emphasize that, meditation must not be forsaken under any circumstances. The point is made in terms of bhikkhus going to the village with it and coming back with it. From this, we can infer that the clear comprehensions of resort is simply the practice of meditation. Many illustrations are given to explain this third comprehension. The commentary describes 4 kinds of bhikkhus. Number 1, one bhikkhu takes meditation with him and he goes to the village but does not bring it back when he returns to his monastery. Second one, that monk is unable to take meditation with him when he goes to the village, but bring it with him when he comes back. Third one, the third monk does not meditate, neither takes meditation to the village, nor brings it back. And the fourth one. The fourth bhikkhu takes meditation to the village and also bring it back to his monastery. So we go one by one. The first bhikkhu. The first one is the bhikkhu who takes meditation with him when he goes to the village for alms, but is unable to bring it back. In the commentary, it is explained that he is a meditating bhikkhu. During the day, he practiced walking meditation and sitting meditation, trying to get rid of his mental hindrances. By night also, during the first watch, he practiced sitting meditation and walking meditation. He sleeps in the middle watch of the night. During the third watch, he gets up and again practice meditation by walking meditation and sitting meditation. Early in the morning, it is time for his monastic duties. He may sweep the terrace of the shrine and Bodhi tree, or offer water to the Bodhi tree. That is Jeti Yingana duties. He may set up water for the other bhikkhus to use for drinking, washing the feet, and so on. So monks also have duties to do for their teachers. So he may go to his teachers, offer water for watching their faces, and do whatever else needs to be done. After doing all these things, that bhikkhu may go back to his dwelling place and practice meditation for 2 or 3 sittings. When it is time for alms, he takes his robes and bowl, and with meditation foremost in mind, first he goes to the shrine. If his usual meditation is Buddhanussati, recollections of the Buddha, he will enter the shrine with that meditation until he reached the Buddha or stupa. If it is a small shrine, he would circle it 3 times and pay homage to it in 8 places. If it is a large shrine, he circles it 3 times and pays homage in 4 places. Then he resumes his regular meditation and goes out for alms round. If his usual meditation is not Buddhanussati, recollections of the Buddha, but some other meditation subject, he should leave it at the shrine entrance, enter the grounds, and pay homage with thoughts of the Buddha's virtues. On leaving the shrine, that bhikkhu should pick up his regular meditation subject at the gate, keeping it foremost in mind, he goes to the village for alms. Pindapata. When he reached the village, people will approach him and invite him to their house. They may take his bowl while he's waiting for the rice to be prepared. Other people may come and ask him to give a talk. According to the books, bhikkhu should give a Dhamma talk even though he is a meditating monk. He must do it because Dhamma talks always concern meditation. And even if he is not asked, he must give a Dhamma talk to gladden people and help them. Anumodana. When the food is ready, it will be offered to him and he will eat it with meditation foremost in his mind. Until the end of the meal, he is with meditation. After eating and cleaning his bowl, he departs for the monastery. Just outside the village, he may meet some other samanera and bhikkhus, novice and monks. Now comes the trouble. When other monks meet him, they ask, Bande, who are those people to you? Are they relatives on the maternal side? Are they relatives on the paternal sides? Other monks ask him. Then he asks, what you have seen that made you inquire? He asks. They replied, they show so much respect and affection for you that we thought they must be your relatives. They replied. Then the monks say, that which even friends find hard to do, these people do for us. Our very robes and bowls are due to them. Owing to the support of these people, we know no fear on occasion for fear, and no lack of food on occasion of famine. There are no people so helpful to us as these devotees. Thus, speaking well of the villagers, he continues on his way. Now the bhikkhus have broken his meditation by talking with the young monks and novices, so he cannot return with meditation to the monastery. This is a kind of monk who carries meditation to the village, but cannot carry meditation from the village back to the monastery. He practiced clear comprehensions of result, gochara sampasigna, only on the way to the village, but not on the way back. And the second monk. The second kind of bhikkhu is one who seems to have very good digestion. In the morning, he is so hungry that he is perspiring, perhaps even trembling. So that monk cannot practice meditation. According to the books, his karma produce caloricity becomes very strong and lays hold of the derived assimilated material of the body, owing to the absence of undigested food in the stomach. Buddhist people believe that in the stomach there is a kind of heat born of past karma, karmajatejo. If you have good karma in the past, you have good digestion. If you have bad digestion, you probably did not do enough good karma in the past life. So this fire, Tejo Dhatu, is produced by karma and is the heat that digests the food we eat. The karma produces caloricity, karma produces heat, becomes very strong, and lays hold of the derived assimilated material of the body. This means that it lays hold of the inner lining of the stomach. The process refers to the digestive juices. When there is no food in the stomach, they digest the stomach lining. This causes much pain in the stomach and perspiration all over the body. So the very hungry monk cannot practice meditation. So he does his duty quickly, goes to the shrine quickly, and rush to the village for alms food. In the village, he may get some rice gruel. He may take it to the city hall where monks usually eat. After taking 2 or 3 mouthfuls, the karma produce caloricity material of the body, the inner lining of the stomach, lays hold of the property of the food taken in. When there are 2 or 3 mouthfuls of gruel in the stomach, the digestive juices begin to attack the gruel instead of the stomach lining. So the monk becomes quiet from the distress of the calories process, like a man bathed with 100 pots of cool water. So that monk feels comfortable now because there is food in his stomach for the digestive juices to act upon. So that monk takes the first 2 or 3 mouthfuls without meditating. But after these few mouthfuls, his hunger becomes quiet. So he can take the rest of the rice gruel with meditation. So he practices meditation as soon as he gets comfortable. Then he washes his bowl, sits somewhere and meditates. When it is again time to go for alms, he does not return to the place where he got the rice gruel. He goes somewhere else and receives food, which he takes to a place where monks usually eat food in the village. There he eats the food with sustained meditation, with full awareness. And he may even attain arahantship while eating. The commentary said that after drinking gruel and exerting themselves in the development of insight knowledge, countless bhikkhus like this, one have reached the state of arahantship during the Buddha's dispensation. It is even claimed that in various villages of Sri Lanka alone, there is not a single sitting hall where a bhikkhu having sat and drunk gruel has not attained arahantship. So this monk is one who does not carry meditation when he goes to the village, but when he comes back, he is able to carry meditation with him. He might attain arahantship in the village, but if not, his day will come back to the monastery with his meditation, with the clear comprehensions of result, kochara sambhajanya. And the third monk, that monk is described as a loose liver. There is a monk who lives in heedlessness, who lives in negligence, who lives in carelessness and indolence. That means a monk who has thrown away the yoke, broken all the observances. That means not doing any duties. That person lives spiritually frozen by the fivefold bondage of mind, Citta Nibbana. When he does not practice meditation, when he does not do the duties of the elders and others, he is said to have 5 kinds of thorns or 5 kinds of bondage in his mind. The 5 kinds of thorns are attachment to sensual things, attachment to oneself, attachment to others, people, eating too much and spending time in indolence and laziness, and and wishing to be reborn as a deva, celestial beings. When such a monk enters the village for alms, he shows no indications of knowing there is such a thing as the subject of meditation. And indeed, he does not even know there is such a thing as meditation. After walking about, eating his meal in unsuitable company and socializing with people in an unfitting manner, he comes out of the village an empty fellow. This third monk is a person who neither leaves nor returns with any thoughts of meditation. Because he does not practice meditation at the monastery, he does not carry meditation to the village, he does not carry meditation to the monastery either, as he has no clear comprehension of result, no gochara sambhajiñña. He is known as one who lives in negligence, who has thrown away the duties of right exertion, and so is irresponsible. Now we have been presented with 3 of the 4 kinds of bhikkhus. The first bhikkhu carries meditation to the village, but does not bring it back to the monastery. The second bhikkhu does not carry meditation to the village, but returns with meditation to the monastery. The third one neither carries meditation to the village, nor does he carry it back to the monastery. And the fourth one, the fourth and last bhikkhu, carries meditation to the village and also carries meditation back to the monastery. This bhikkhu is the best of the 4 monks. His clear comprehensions of result, gochara sambhajiñña, is complete and intact. The practice of taking meditation to the village and bringing it back to the monastery is called an observant. Kata pichakatika practice. Kata pichakatika. It is something like a dutinga, one of the ascetic practice that some monks voluntarily vow to follow. So the last bhikkhu should be understood as practicing a similar kinds of vow and observant. Now you understand gochara. Gochara means bhikkhu meditation as well as a village where he goes for alms. So vipassana yogis practice 4 foundations of mindfulness. So when he practiced 4 foundations of mindfulness, contemplations of the kaya, contemplations of the vedana, contemplations of the citta, contemplations of the dhamma, he is in the gochara. Now when yogi practice kayanupassana, yogi practice sitting, meditation, walking, standing, and lying down, stretching, bending, etc. When yogi practice sitting meditation, he notes rising and falling of the abdomen. While noting the rising and falling of the abdomen, he tried to observe from the beginning to the end of the movement, just as if he is seeing the rising and falling of the abdomen with his eyes. And also when he note the falling movement, he note the falling of the abdomen from the beginning to the end. So when he note the rising movement in such a way that his awareness of it is concurrent with the movement itself, the movement and the mental awareness of it should coincide in the same way as if stone throw is the target. So when he practiced kayanupassana, contemplations of the body, he practiced gochara sambhasanya. Sometimes the mind of the yogi may wander as well when he is noting the abdominal movement. This wandering mind must be noted by mentally saying, wandering, wandering. Try to capture that wandering mind. When he notes once or twice, the mind stops wandering, in which case he go back to the noting, the rising and falling of the abdomen. If the mind reaches somewhere, he notes reaching, and then he go back to the rising and falling of the abdomen. If he imagine meeting somebody, he note as meeting, then back to the rising and falling of the abdomen. If he imagine meeting and talking to somebody, he note as talking. So whatever thoughts or reflection occurs, he can capture very immediately. If he imagine, he notice imagining. And if he think, he note thinking very quickly. If he plan, he notes planning. If he perceives something, he notes perceiving. If he reflect, he note reflecting. If he feel happy, he note happy. If he feel bored, he note boring. If he feel glad, he note glad. If he feel disheartened, he note disheartened. So he can note every act of consciousness. That is Cittanupassana, contemplations of the Citta. So he is in the Gochara. If he failed to note these acts of consciousness, if he failed to note every act of consciousness, he tend to identify them with the person or individual. He tend to think that it is I who is imagining, it is I who is thinking, it is I who is planning or knowing. He thinks that there is a person who from childhood onwards has been living and thinking. Actually, no such person exists. There are instead only the continuing and successive acts of consciousness. So you have to know these acts of consciousness and know them for what they are. So you have to note each and every act of consciousness as soon as it arises. So when he captures every mental state, these tends to disappear. These mental states are very breakable. Then he go back noting the rising and falling of the abdomen. So he is in the Gochara, he is in the domain of meditation. And when he have sat meditating for long, sensation of stiffness and heat will arise in his body. These are to be noted carefully. In the same way, with sensations of pain and tiredness, all of these sensations are feeling of unsatisfactoriness. These are dukkha vedana. And then he contemplate. When he contemplate the vedana, it is called vedananupassana. He is in the domain of meditation. If he failed to note these sensations, he may think, I'm stiff, I'm feeling hot, I'm in pain, I was all right a moment ago, now I'm uneasy with these unpleasant sensations. So the identifications of these sensations with the ego is mistaken. There is really no I involved. Only a succession of one new unpleasant sensation after another. So it is just like a continuous succession of new electrical impulses that light up electric lamps. Every time unpleasant contact encounter in the body, unpleasant sensation arise one after another. So these sensations should be carefully and intently noted, whether they are sensation of stiffness, of heat, or sensations of pain. In the beginning of the yogi's meditation practice, these sensations may tend to increase and lead to a desire to change his postures. A yogi captures this desire, and when he captures this desire thoroughly, he goes back to the noting of the sensation of stiffness, heat, etc. So for Satipatthana, contemplations of kaya, body, contemplations of citta, consciousness, contemplations of vedana, feeling, contemplations of dhamma, is gochara sambhasinya. So gochare bhikkhave charata sake pitike visaye. Yogi have to roam in domain of meditation, meditations of 4 foundations of mindfulness, which are the heritage of the Buddha. If yogi dwell contemplating the body, feeling, consciousness and dhamma, if yogi roam in domain of 4 foundations of mindfulness, kilesa, the evil one, cannot enter to the yogis. So we continue clear comprehension, sambhasinya. We have to stop our discourse for today by practicing Satipatthana meditation, by contemplating kaya, vedana, citta, dhamma thoroughly, by noting rising, falling, sitting, touching, stretching, bending, seeing, hearing, continuously and meticulously. May all yogis realize the real peace. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. So,